I accept your cookies. Shit. All right. So Russian television has shown a simulation of a nuclear strike on central London with more than 850,000 deaths, so close to a million people. The startling 4-minute video was aired in an apparent effort to prevent Britain from giving permission to Ukraine to allow Storm Shadow missiles to hit targets inside Russia. Oh shit! So basically, they were flexing on them, like, all right, y'all could do that, but let's show y'all what the fuck we gonna do to y'all, right? I love technology. Technology is so crazy. What it this reminds me of was it Trump where he I can't remember if it was one of the North Korean leaders or something where he showed him a picture of his fucking house on GPS on Google Maps. It's like, I know where you live, motherfucker. Like, it's that type shit. It's that type of timing. The Starlink 4-minute video was aired in an apparent effort to prevent Britain from giving permission to Ukraine to allow Storm Shadow missiles to hit targets inside of Russia. The Putin entourage has repeatedly warned that he could use nuclear weapons, but now a simulation video is taking things to the new level. The video shows Tsargrad's Telegram channel begins by threatening. Imagine for a moment that the unimaginable happens. A nuclear weapon explodes over London. In this documentary, we will explore the devastating consequences of this catastrophe. Damn, that is a crazy threat. The simulation shows what will happen if a warhead with 750 kilotons detonated, expanding a fireball as hot as the sun with a radius of 950 meters. Anything trapped inside this fireball will instantly be vaporized. Now, another thing they could be doing is pump faking. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all hip to what pump faking is. But pump faking is where you really ain't gonna do shit or you don't got it, but you threaten like you got it. You know what I'm saying? Just hopefully you get them to fall back if you can scare them enough. Do they have nuclear capabilities though? I think so. I don't think they pump faking. Appreciate all the likes. Let's get it up to 1,000 likes. Past 3 lives, I've been up to 2K, so that's the goal for today. Get me up to 2K. Turn me up. G like P, what up? What up, P? All right, let's see the sim. I want to see the simulation though. You got a video of it. People within that radius won't even feel anything because the nerve impulse transmission is slow. Speed is slower. Within 5 kilometers, 3 miles of the epicenter, the blast radius, City of London, Camden Tower, Kensington, Brixton, these areas will receive the most destruction. The video estimated the initial death toll could exceed 250,000 people with 600,000 injured in a radius of 6 miles. Okay. I ain't gonna lie, that's cool, but this nigga threatened Washington too, so I'm trying to see what the fuck he said about Washington and what we gonna say back to this. They added within that radius, anything that can burn will catch fire. Petrol stations, automobiles, power substations, gas infrastructure. All right, bro, we know nukes are bad. The shockwave will reach Hounslow, Edgware, and Enfield, the video claims, with damage even reaching the Essex or Surrey. They added if the explosion will occur on the ground rather than the air, the fallout map will be greatly expanded, and the radioactive fallout could even reach Manchester, infecting people, land, and animals. The problem with a nuclear explosion in London is also that London is essentially not designed to survive such a disaster. 11 of London's 20 hospitals could be within the blast. Putin said that in the event of nuclear war, we Russians will go to heaven as martyrs, and they in the West will simply die because they will not even have time to repent. Hmm. So no videos of this, huh? I want to see the video of it. Yeah, I ain't see him say nothing about Washington though. They said he threatened Washington too. Oh shit! Oh, I see it right here. Damn, they got a building of the White House. Oh, here. Oh, it's in Russian. I gotta translate it. Thank you for the likes. We almost to 1,000. Appreciate it. How you doing, daughter of the king? Thank you. So we're going over now. We touching on Putin and his nuke situation right now. So this isn't Putin saying this. This is some dude. I don't know who this dude. A Kremlin propagandist has suggested the plywood replicas of Washington, D.C., and London should be built in Russia's Arctic and then bombed to show the nation's nuclear capabilities. The idea was floated on the Russia One channel program hosted by Vladimir. So all them niggas is named Vladimir, where guests make frequent nuclear threats against Western countries will support Ukraine against Moscow's aggression. Since the start of this full-scale invasion of Ukraine, Vladimir Putin has veered between touting Russia's nuclear weapons capabilities to stating that Moscow had no intention of using them. And in this ambiguity, guests and hosts on Russian state television have regularly issued threats about Moscow's missiles, and while they do not necessarily represent Kremlin thinking, they add to the narrative of anti-Western invective. That's an interesting word, invective. Alexander Mikhailov, director of the Bureau of Political Military Analysis, a Moscow think tank, gave an imaginative take on how to show off Russia's nuclear power. Okay, so this is Alexander Mikhailov, director of the Bureau of Military. Oh shit! So he plugged in for real. Director of the Bureau of Political Military Analysis. So he's the head of planning on what the fuck they gonna do. So he's proposing this that they build replicas of the White House. This is fucking stupid, actually, but build replicas of the White House and London in the Arctic part of Russia because Russia is big as fuck, and then you got the Arctic part, which is like barren land, and they're gonna do a demonstration because they done the simulation. I just read the article and I'm actually looking for the video they played, but they're gonna do a live demonstration of their missile capabilities and what it would do to Washington D.C. and all that shit, which is cool. But we got anti-defense technology, like anti-missile technology and shit. So I don't even know if it would get to the White House. The only way I could see us really getting hit head on would be like a September 11th thing where it got to be an inside job or like some hijacking of some normal shit, and then you use that as your weapon. I don't think they're gonna be able to just get they fucking missiles off on us like that, unless we have war here, and then there's a domestic war, and we're caught up in the infight, and then we can't focus all our resources on outside of ourselves, and that's when we're gonna get fucked up. See, China got them damn balloons in this bitch, easy as fuck. I don't know if y'all remember them balloons. China had them fucking balloons flying all through the northwest of America, recording, doing God knows what. So it's getting crazy out here. He said that Russia's nuclear testing ground on its Arctic archipelago of Novaya Zemlya, yeah, would be the ideal location for a replica of London and Washington, D.C., complete with the fake versions of Buckingham Palace, Big Ben, and the White House. Some goofy shit. Like, why would y'all detonate a nuke in your own country just to prove a point? That's why I do kind of feel like they just pump faking. You know what I'm saying? They hope they can just scare us and scare the world out of fucking with Ukraine and back in Ukraine so they could just get Ukraine. But I mean, we in too deep at this point, so motherfuckers got to see it through. And hopefully he don't see it through by doing it that way. But the way he talking, that's you talking too reckless. Nah, know what I'm saying? Fuck that. Talking too crazy. They should know that isn't healthy. What isn't healthy? Yeah, it is scary. It's real scary. Because you have to me I see the two sides now. It's like NATO versus BRICS. And then you have the United Nations who just did this pact. Let's look up this pact. Because to me it sounds like some new world order, one world government type shit. That's what it sounds like to me. The United Nations is basically NATO, and then BRICS is like Russia, Brazil, Iran, China. Um, who else is in BRICS? BRICS got a little roster now. I mean, both sides of NATO, of course, got a little roster, but BRICS got a roster now too. So the two sides are getting set. What the fuck was it? Peace. Then they had the General Assembly to end the Palestine invasion. I forgot. I wanted to see what Abbas said because they're trying to get the Palestine president to be like, we don't fuck with Hamas and condemn Hamas and all that, but he not. Like, y'all sending beepers and cell phone bombs to us. This is our only line of defense. So this is a woman interpreting the Palestinian president, Mahmoud Abbas. And then the Israeli president is Netanyahu. I think he talks after him. I couldn't be a politician because they have so much, I would say, patience in these situations. Because if we at the United Nations and I see the fucking Israeli president. Fuck all that politics. Like we need to shoot the fair one real quick. I need that one on one versus you. I agree. I agree. So basically, Biden came in and was like, I don't give a fuck that they did that. And Hmm. I don't know. It seems like a conflict of interest, and it's so weird how you could play both sides. Like they literally could play both sides. So you give them the power to destroy, and the people you're destroying, you try to feed and give aid, supposedly. But after the cell phones and the beeper bombings, I wouldn't trust shit. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't trust nothing that any of these people trying to send as far as US and Israeli aid. But if you're starving, you take food, you want the water. So people are stepping up and voicing their opinions, resigning even because they morally can't work through this situation. And I respect that. Definitely respect that. Definitely seems like a conflict of interest, though. This is what I'm worried about, though. The summit of the future. That was the UN's latest summit. To me, it sounds like a whole bunch of jargon just pushing for a one world government. That's what it seemed like to me. Summit of the future, our common agenda. What is your real agenda? They always come with them Bible verses. Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and the world shall not escape. Oof. I love when people can correlate verses to real time events. Either with us or against us. Global Digital Impact Compact. What is that? It's not global digital currency. The Global Digital Compact is an initiative proposed by the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres' Common Agenda. The objective of this compact is to ensure that digital technologies are used responsibly and for the benefit of all, while addressing the digital divide and fostering a safe and inclusive digital environment. Sounds like a whole bunch of censorship to me. The compact aims to outline shared principles for an open and free, secure digital future for all. Oof, it sounds so contradictory. The compact aims to outline shared principles for an open, free, and secure digital future for all. The way they word these things is important. Hmm. So basically, being able to share all the information with each other and also be able to censor us. I just see what's happening with like X in Brazil, how he just blocked the whole country from using fucking X, or they were trying to block us from using TikTok. I think with this global digital compact, they'll be able to get that shit off easier. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Just the way they worded it, that's what it seems like. Here goes some good key aspects though. Connectivity, ensuring that all people, including schools, have access to the internet and digital tools for connectivity and socio-economic prosperity. Internet fragmentation, preventing the division and fragmentation of the internet to maintain a unified global digital space. What the I don't like that. Hmm. So is everybody just gonna have to be on the same network? Getting fact checked, shadow banned, data protection, providing individuals with options for how their data is used and ensuring that their privacy is respected. Human rights online, applying human rights principles in the digital sphere, including freedom of expression, privacy, and protection from discrimination and misleading content. Ooh, ooh, that's the fact checker gang right there. Hmm. What is misleading content? Because I feel like the whole pandemic and jab situation, they were misleading the government, who all these organizations were the ones posting misleading content. And they've come back and checked themselves. They were like, yeah, we fucked up basically. So that's an admittance of guilt. I don't like that part. Artificial intelligence regulation. Promoting the ethical development and use of artificial intelligence in alignment with shared global values. I think I could rock with that. Digital commons, recognizing digital technologies as a global public good and encouraging their development and use for the benefit of them all. A lot of this stuff sounds good. Number four is where they think they nickel damn slick in the protection from discrimination and misleading content part. Because what's y'all definition of misleading content? Misinformation, conspiracy theories. Global Digital Compact is related to various other international efforts, such as the Sustainable Development Goals. Anything that gives them like control and a monopoly over something ain't good. The internet should be private sectors and partner to connect. Okay, that's what Global Digital Compact is. So, Global Digital Compact, I'm taking it as that's their play to control the internet and our social medias and stuff, and kind of monitor what we're doing on a global scale. Peace and security is the one, though. That's the one. That's what the lady said in the comments with the Thessalonians verse. She snapped on that. And transforming global governance is also a key one. Um, the fuck is global governance? Do we even have global governance that we're aware of? Because we have it, and they do it to the best of their extent in the shadows or through the United Nations and all that. But everybody is not a part of that. So we're gonna have BRICS, NATO. They gonna go against each other. This is like the players for World War III. And like I said, BRICS is Brazil, Russia, Iran, China, like all them fucking basically communist red countries, if you will. But they ain't about to be a part of this shit. They is not about to be rocking with this United Nations Summit of the Future shit. So what y'all gonna do about them? So basically, this whole summit is like you with us or against us type shit. Oh, it's about to get fucking crazy. And this is how they're gonna be able to strong arm these countries. They're gonna do this one fucking government group through the United Nations, and the countries that ain't following suit or joining, they're just gonna declare war on them. They're gonna call them war criminals or whatever the case may be. It's just gonna make things look smoother. Like there ain't gonna be no gray area. It's gonna be black and white, which it kind of is now. But like I said earlier, Putin and Russian, like he pumped, like in reality, he just want them to get the fuck out of Ukraine and let him have Ukraine. And but we not going for that shit. So hmm, this is a part of it too. AI is big. I see in this Summit of the Future Pact and how they're going to implement AI. I think they're going to kind of privatize it the most as much as they can. So the average person can have access to the highest capabilities of artificial intelligence. Because artificial intelligence is going to be used to do some crazy shit. Like all the movies and all the shit we used to watch and these fucking Terminators and shit. Like this shit is fucking real. Like the live, share the live. Thank you for the likes. We had 2K. We reached our goal. Thank you. So we're gonna do all this, connect the world and all that, but it's gonna be through us so we can monitor everything you're doing. Shameless plug. Yeah, trying to regulate this AI because AI is the next nuke. It's just a digital nuke. So everybody got nukes and they're trying to regulate nukes as much as possible, but they can't. Russia going crazy. They're trying to get ahead of the curve on this AI shit. Want everybody to be on the same page. They don't want one country figuring out some shit before the next country, and then now they're the superpower because they don't figure out how to fucking create the Terminators or fucking Sky Network. What was the last part? There's one other thing. So the environmental part. A declaration on future generations. I'm lazy. I hope I just can type up part of the word and it comes up. Future. Hmm. A declaration on future generations could bring changes to the world, or bring changes we need. Scientists who study the climate work with data that goes back thousands of years and build models that project centuries into the future. Meanwhile, CEOs and politicians base their decisions on business, political, and news cycles. Can we reconcile this gap? A new gathering is going to try. This week, world leaders will arrive in the New York Summit of the Future. Motherfuckers, I ain't unlocking this. It aims to cover everything from war to economy, climate change to artificial intelligence. So, summary of it is basically they're trying to do this one world government shit. Russia not fucking with it. I don't think China fucking with it. I ain't see China all in it. So they're just setting the players for World War III and trying to see who's all on the same page and trying to find common agendas they can push to us on a global scale. Because that's the end game for like the UN and NATO. All right, let's see about this Kendrick shit. How did they come to this conclusion? I want to see if they even spoke on his organs. Because the family thought, Let's look at a timeline of events in the case. Because they bold releasing that pic and trying to say, all right, this is what happened and y'all can forget it now. But where's his organs and how does organs disappear? Kendrick Johnson, 17, was found dead in a mat at Lowndes High School in 2013. The circumstances of his death have been a source of conjecture, gossip, and allegations and lawsuits ever since. Johnson's body was found January 11th. The school was put on lockdown immediately following the discovery of Johnson's body. Official reports, no injuries, death accidental. This is the initial report. Lowndes County authorities said Johnson's body showed no injuries following preliminary autopsy results. His body was found rolled up inside a tumbling mat. Investigators speculated Johnson went into the mat, rolled the mat up to retrieve a shoe and couldn't get out. Investigators believe the 17-year-old death was a tragic incident, but his parents believe he was murdered. Visual held for Johnson. We don't think we know that he was murdered. Johnson's family demanded answers 3 months after his death. Family members said Johnson was murdered. The family took to the Valdosta streets and rallied at the Lowndes County Courthouse. Johnson's death ruled an accident. Family protests. Investigators officially ruled Johnson's death an accident. The announcements came just an hour before friends, family, and civil rights activists marched outside the high school demanding justice. The Johnson family attorney said information from paramedics contradicts what the law enforcement said. The report from the responding paramedics showed Johnson's body was partially in a rolled-up wrestling mat, but his torso, head, and arms were exposed. The family's attorney said that contradicts investigators' claims that Johnson's body was found upside down, stuck in the mat. Because that's what I was wondering, if the mat was standing up like they showed in this picture, or was it on the side? Because I could see how something like this could possibly happen if this mat was up and then you just fell head first into it, knocked your head, knocked yourself out, and you just stuck. But that's besides the point. Because what about these organs? Second autopsy set for Johnson's body. A Lowndes County judge granted the Johnson family permission to exhume their son's body for a second autopsy. The teen's body was exhumed from Sunset Hill Cemetery in Valdosta. The family hired forensic pathologist William Anderson in Ocala, Florida, to perform the autopsy. Independent autopsy report said Johnson died from an unexplained, apparent, non-accidental blunt force trauma. The conclusion contradicted the original autopsy. Because what do they think? He was asphyxiated the first autopsy. After 23 weeks of standing on Valdosta street corners holding signs and demanding answer, the Johnson family wanted Kendrick's death to be investigated as a homicide. The Florida pathologist and the Johnson family hired to conduct the second autopsy said homicide investigation needs to be open because the Johnson's injury appeared to be inflicted by another. Reward offered in Johnson case, $10,000, put up by an anonymous donor. A judge ordered the release of a surveillance video and other investigative documents more than 10 months after the 17-year-old was found dead in a rolled-up gym mat. The attorney filed a petition for a coroner's inquest previously. But why 10 months? Like, why does it got to take so long to get this video out? Why you just couldn't rip the video and put it out? What was y'all doing for 10 months? Editing? Photoshopping? Family attorney questioned surveillance video. C.B. King Jr., an Albany attorney for the Johnson family, said that the surveillance video raises more questions. The fact that this particular camera out of all the cameras is out of focus, King said. That is not the position. That is not positioned in such a way that you get any image showing the top edge of Matt. We believe is anything but a coincidence. John, oh, here we get to the organs. Johnson's family sues Harrington Funeral Home. Johnson's parents accused Harrington Funeral Home of fraud and negligence after a second autopsy showed Johnson's organs were missing and his body was stuffed with newspaper. Oh, hell no. That is fucking scary. They claimed that Harrington Funeral Home didn't tell them the truth about their son's body. Claim of email confession in Johnson's death. Subpoena made. Authorities began investigating an anonymous email detailing an alleged confession of an ex-schoolmate killing Johnson. The Loudoun County Assistant District Attorney ordered communications company to hand over the internet records. Gee, I ain't hear about that. That do sound like a hoax, though. Confessions claim a hoax. The Loudoun County Sheriff Office deemed the confession as a hoax. The false email implicated 4 people in a suspicious death, which I don't trust because, I mean, the research I did back in the day when I initially was following this case, it showed that the accused teenager or whatever, high schooler, his family, because they kind of tried to pin it on one boy and it was a girl involved, something about Kendrick taking the girl, something. And then, but the boy's family was like really plugged in with the sheriff's county and the government officials in that county. So they think that's why he had so much pull and was able to cover things up. It may be that funeral home that took the organs got paid off. Johnson family files lawsuit against Lowndes Board of Education. The Johnson family filed a wrongful death suit against Lowndes County Board of Education. The lawsuit claims the school board did not properly investigate a 2009 incident involving an altercation on a school bus between Johnson and another student. 2009. So it was 3 years before the fact. How are they correlating this? The attorney for the Lowndes County School District said the high school strongly denies the Johnsons' claim that a student on the wrestling team had a motive to harm Johnson. Another lawsuit filed. Johnson's parents filed a lawsuit accusing classmates of killing Kendrick at Lowndes High. 38 defendants were named in the suit. God damn. The lawsuit said 3 classmates attacked Johnson. Members of Johnson family were found guilty of obstruction following a trial. All 7 were found guilty of obstruction for blocking people from entering the Lowndes County Judicial Complex during protests on April 25th. They were sentenced to 1 year in jail, which is suspended if none were arrested in a year. A prayer vigil was held outside the Lowndes County Judicial Complex to express unity among the community, but also to pray for kids who have had to endure cyberbullying. The event was partly because of the blame that has been placed on 2 Lowndes High School students, particularly through social media by Johnson family members, for conspiring to murder Johnson. And I could see that from their point of view if like they think their children are innocent or whatnot. And they're getting bullied and people are threatening them over this. But hey, at least he's still alive. More protests. The family said that the schools denied several of their requests to have their son's memory honored during the graduation. Johnson would have graduated in 2015. Wow. They didn't want to do no honor of him or nothing. That's the least they could have did. So the sheriff's attorney blasts Kendrick's family, saying they just making shit up. Ooh, 100 million lawsuit. They dropped it. The Justice Department ended the investigation in 2016 due to insufficient evidence. Third lawsuit filed in 2017. Ooh, shit. The parents of Kendrick Johnson and their counsel, lawyer Shavine B. King Jr., were ordered by a judge to pay nearly $300,000 in attorney fees to those they accused of killing their son and the parties they allegedly covered up. Oh my goodness. Family files for second body exhumation, 2018. It seems like a far time apart to exhume the body again. What will they find? Appeal to not pay legal fees dismissed. The appeal for the Johnson family not to pay the nearly $30,000 in legal fees was denied. The third autopsy on Johnson was set. The GBI conducted the first autopsy and determined Johnson's death was accidental positional asphyxia. Okay, I was right. Because the second autopsy said it was blunt force trauma. To be fair, I can see how both of those things could happen. If he fell down and hit his head and he was fucked up and then he just stopped breathing, was choked to death from being confined in that small area. So they did dig up his body for the second exhumation. Third autopsy results show non-accidental damage in Johnson's death. The third autopsy determined Johnson's cause of death was non-accidental blunt force trauma to his right neck and right thorax. So right here, which is the body cavity between the neck and the abdomen. So right here. Johnson's parents' lawyers want evidence presented in front of jury, 2018. The lawyers said they believe the evidence is overwhelming as there to being something more akin to a homicide rather than an accident. (2020) online petition starts to reopen the case. Celebrities like Kim Kardashian joined in on the fight for justice. Possible new evidence in 2021. Kendrick's family gave the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office a new recording with a possible confession. Possible confession of hoax, sheriff says. Shit. Right, that was like the timeline of events, but I'm looking for this graphic that was floating around. I'm trying to see if the county actually posted this or ooh, that is nasty. They just showed a picture of him after he was taken out the mat. It was scary. What? See, it's crazy how the TikTok internet sleuths be having it. He do got all the receipts. I didn't see all this video evidence of the son. They only showed Kendrick like on the media, but the son was fucking moving around, moving and shaking that day. He did change outfits, did show some blood on his sweater, had a bag where his sweater was in. Man, the music is killing me. So this looks like a confession. So this looks like a confession. My name is Ryan Anthony Dominic Hernandez, and I am over the age of 21 years of age. I'm giving this declaration voluntarily, and I have personal knowledge on the facts stated herein and know them to be true. I met Brandon Bell in April 2016 on one occasion with him at his apartment in Jacksonville, Florida, when he told me that his younger brother killed Kendrick Johnson. According to Brandon Bell, Ryan Hall, and Kendrick Johnson were in the gym when an argument between Brian and Kendrick began. Our argument was over Brian's girlfriend at the time, and out of rage or the effects of steroids, he struck Kendrick with a 45-pound weight. Hmm. See, I thought that graphic was off. This because in the graphic, if you can see the graphic, they're showing it like standing up. This shit don't make no fucking sense. And then his shoes stuffed by his fucking feet. Yeah, right. All right. So they're trying to say his shoes fell to the bottom right there. He reached in, and the mat was upright at this point. He fell in head first, and he asphyxiated himself. That was their first initial report. He fell in head first. His head should be by his fucking shoes that fell on the bottom. But the picture, his fucking shoes are by his feet. Hmm. Man, boy, his dress was fresh. Thanks for all the likes. Like the live, share the videos. Thank you. Appreciate all the love. Okay, so maybe he had a second pair of shoes. All right, so his gym shoes fell in there and he had his real shoes on his feet. And that maybe that would explain why the fucking shoes he went in there to go get is by his feet, even though he fell head first onto his shoes. I don't know. Hmm. And it took 10 months for them to finally release the video. So, what type of editing and distorting of the imagery was done in that 10-month span? Hmm. And it conveniently was fucking up at the moment Kendrick walked into the gym. Okay. Oh, shit. That's what it was. I thought he just was cool with the people. Damn daddy was an FBI agent. So basically, Kendrick beat Brian ass on the bus. So this just leads me to believe he was rolled up as opposed to just falling straight through a 14-inch hole, and his shoulders were 19 inches. They said if you do this, maybe you could squeeze in there, but I don't know. Hmm. Mm. Bruise on his jaw and chest, and they said he got hit with the weight, a dumbbell. And if you know how like a dumbbell is and it looks, you got the weight right here, and the weight right here in the bar. So if he were to get hit, I could see how that happened. Like you get the bruise from the bar at the top and the bruise at the bar at the bottom. Yeah, that's crazy. Just based off all that, you know what I'm saying? It is weird, strange, but I can't get over them bruises, the positioning, and the autopsies kind of contradicting themselves. Well, thanks for the likes. We covered Putin and his mock nukes, you know what I'm saying? Or his mock simulation of nuking Washington in London, or proposed mock simulation of Washington. Um, Talked about this Summit of the Future Pact and how we're kind of heading towards one world government. That's what they're kind of pushing with this thing. The what was it? The Global Digital Compact. So they want to police AI, artificial intelligence, and I can see why, because it is basically a nuke. It's going to be like a digital form of the nuclear weapon. When the nuke was developed, it was a game changer. Now, if somebody can figure out AI and weaponize it or make the technology in their favor to where they have an advantage over another country, that's what these countries are scared of. So they're trying to get out ahead of that. They want to centralize it and they want to control it. So they setting these teams and they setting their boundaries. We appreciate all the likes, all the shares. Follow the channel. We'll be back at it tomorrow. All right, y'all. Hi, YouTube.